Sitting here once again waiting to go into work at the age of 62. You know, you hear a lot of people talk about retiring. As soon as you can go, you should go. And as I've said before, I plan to stick around for at least a couple more years, pay off a couple of little things, and build back up my savings just enough to have some kind of an emergency fund, to do things whenever we move to the Philippines and stuff like that. But as I sit here, I do recognize the fact that there's a lot of wisdom in the idea of just going when you can go, because you can always find some kind of reason to stick around longer. Say I stick around for 3 more years until I'm 65, so I can take my Medicare and all of that before I retire. I could be sitting here when I'm 65 years old thinking, wow, we got a pretty decent raise over the last few years. And I'm making, who knows, we got another contract coming up next year. Never know with the Postal Service how long it's going to take before you actually get a contract. Might be another 1.5 years down the road, and then you have to wait and get some back pay and shit, But who knows? Might be making close to 90 grand a year a few years down the road. It would be easy to sit here and think, well, things are going pretty good. Enjoying my life here. I've got this here and I've got that here, and not much point in giving that all up. I can just come into the post office and work 40 hours a week for this or that. But that really is a trap that you can fall into that I plan on not falling into. When you're in your 60s, even if you're in good health, and even if you hope that you're going to be around a lot longer and keep yourself healthy, you don't know how much longer you've got in this world. A lot of people, man, I've outlived a lot of people already, People a whole lot younger than me that aren't here anymore. And so you do have to think about relaxing and enjoying your life if you've got enough money to do it. And certainly if I can go over to the Philippines and have my pension and my Social Security, should be okay. And the main thing is, too, to be able to relax, because it really does make a big impact on your health if you can just relax. Not have to stress yourself out, even if you're not super stressed out about things still. Just being forced to get up at a certain time and rush around to try and be at work at a certain time and all that sort of stuff, that's a little bit of a stress right there. Some could say it's a good stress in some things, because you don't want to just be at a point where you don't have anything at all to do all day long and no reason to get up at all. I don't think that's going to be a problem for me in my life. But to have to get up every day, even if you like your job and all of that, and especially if you've got a physically demanding job, and you're, delivering mail and stuff like that, and you just got to go all day, can't really stop and rest until you're done. It does take a toll on you. Whereas if you're retired, you can get up, even if you don't get up late or sleep in, still you can get up, just chill until you're ready to do what you want to do without having any kind of stress about it. Just think about, what am I going to do today? And it's always going to be something that you want to do instead of something that you have to do, because going out, walking around in circles, putting mail in people's boxes, or riding around in one of these crappy postal vehicles, delivering mail to people's boxes is not like, it's not like that was my life's dream or something. What I always wanted to do with my life. It's a hell of a lot better than some things I could be doing. A lot better than many things I did do, in fact. And especially in this day and age, to have a job with a pension and, all the paid benefits and time off and things like that and holidays, it's not something I can really complain about. Relevant, or I shouldn't say relevant, or I should say compared to, relative to other jobs I could be doing. But still, in comparison to not working at all, yeah, it's still not the ideal thing. But being retired here in America, if you want to go out and do things, takes a lot of money. It would be nice to think, well, I can just get up every day, living here in Florida, take a little drive over the coast or something, go hang out at the beach, have a grouper sandwich, you know, chill out, go up to some park and walk around and get a little exercise, go see some manatees somewhere, whatever, go do this, go do that, take a little ride, and go check out some local attraction. But it takes money to do that. And if I retire from the post office, the kind of money I'm going to have coming in, it'll be decent. It'll be a lot more than a lot of people have coming in when they retire. But you can't just fully fund a retirement in the United States on your Social Security and a pension. You can in some places, I guess. But you're not going to be running around all the time and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. I go to the Philippines, though, with the money I'll have coming in, especially if I do wait another couple of years, let my Social Security get up a little higher. One thing, too, that I think about, even though there are people who would say, well, you could go right now and what you'd have would be enough. If they do end up cutting Social Security payments down to like 75-80% of what they would be kind of calculated to be right now, if you're projecting what you're going to get, then I'd still have plenty coming in if I wait a little bit, and that number's higher. If you've got, say you were going to quit right now, and whatever situation you were in, let's say you were going to get like $2,000 a month, just as a round number, and if you wait another couple of years, maybe you've got like, say, like $2,600 a month coming in or something, $2,500. If they only pay you 80% of that, you still got close to $2,000 a month coming in. Whereas if you just quit now, and then a couple years down the road, they cut your payments by 20%, then you got like $1,600 a month coming in, So, and in the meantime, work a little bit more, pension's worth a little bit more at the post office, save up a little bit more to make sure you got things taken care of. But man, every day I come to work, I am at the point right now where it's like, definitely not going to kill myself, Not going to kill myself for this job. Not going to stress about it. Going to do my thing, try and take care of my health. And after all these years of planning to move to the Philippines, for a long, long time now, and especially since I got married to my wife, which was like 10 years ago next month. We've been planning, someday I'm going to be in a position where I'll be able to get out of here, and that time is here now. So yeah, you get used to going to work every day, even if you're like me and you're not thrilled about it sometimes. It's just because it's just a part of your life. It's so much a part of your life every day, getting up and going to work, and you've been doing it. I've worked at the post office in 4 different states, 5 different cities or towns, and man, it's just been a part of my life for over 27 years, getting up and going to the post office. And it's kind of liberating. Every time I'm not at work, I think, wow, this is awesome, This is how I'd like to spend all my days. And yet at the same time, when you've spent that much time doing something, you've just developed this kind of habit of doing it. And when you think about what your life is going to be like after that, you realize it's going to be, what a huge, huge difference it's going to be. Doesn't mean it's going to be a bad difference, but definitely very different existence. But yeah, from here on out, knowing I can already go if I want to, man, every day is another reminder of this is a day I could have done something else that I really wanted to do more, But at the same time, you can't just be irresponsible and retire too early. I know some people will say it's never too early, but you do have to be wise about some things, which hasn't always been my strong suit. Being kind of an impetuous, impulsive person sometimes. Done a lot of crazy stuff that would have been better to think through a little better first before I jumped, you know? And I just don't want quitting to be one of those things. But man, it's going to be nice to walk in someday and say, hey, I'm gone. Or maybe just not walk in. Just put in my papers and not tell anybody.